All jeans සතියේ දින පහේම උදෑසන 10:30ට.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
And a very good morning to you. This is Newsline. Welcome. And we're broadcasting as usual live from the Newsfirst studios in Dorset Street in Colombo. And Sri Lanka this morning wakes up to some absolutely invigorating news, and that is a official tweet from the President's account last night around 11 o'clock. We were treated to this information that the President has instructed the Attorney General to appoint a special presidential commission to investigate the central bank bond issue. The President's media division says that the three-member commission will include a Supreme Court judge, a High Court judge, and a specialist in audit. The President's media division also says that the Gazette notification with regard to this will be issued this week. The report approved by the Commission should be finalized within the 3 months. Then the President Media Unit further notes that the President has requested all relevant sectors to assist the Commission to successfully complete its work. And this, of course, is absolutely wonderful news for the people of Sri Lanka, whose conscience has been aroused since February 2015, within weeks of the National Unity Government coming in, and within weeks of the then Governor Arjuna Mahendran taking office as the Governor of the Central Bank. And a year later, the people's conscience was further aroused when yet another bond was issued for several times more than the one done in February 2015, causing much consternation. The profits of various players in that industry rose remarkably, calling for some analysts to maintain that these were whirlwind, unusual profits, and several politicians, civil society members, and members of the public too, all called for a robust, independent inquiry. And all the papers are carrying this, the talk also of the talks between former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and the current President's proxies, where 7 members, chief ministers, went along to meet the former President. And the Ceylon Today newspaper reports that several ministers are under probe, and they speculate on a cabinet reshuffle after the Prime Minister's return, I believe, which is this morning from Davos. And the Daily Mirror starts off with the fact that the meeting between the chief ministers and the former president. And more importantly, the Daily Mirror reports on the Right to Information Act, which is to be operative from the 3rd of February. And this morning, whilst we await the arrival of our guest, Mr. Lakshan Das from Transparency International, that is what we hope to be discussing, the Right to Information Act. And the messages have started to arrive on our SMSs here, and if you are minded to send in your questions and how the Right to Information Act will work, it is we hope to discuss that this morning. If you also want to send your messages and your concerns or your comments on the news that His Excellency President Maithripala Sirisena has announced the formation of a special presidential commission to look into the bond issue, which has been variously described as many things, including a big fraud, a scandal, a saga, and words to that effect, then please send us your SMSs. And the number that you can SMS me directly onto the set is 0772 300 305. That's 0772 300 305. And To further discuss this matter, we're waiting, of course, Mr. Lakshan Dias' arrival. There are calls from members of the public. My number again on the SMS is 0772 300 305. A message is coming straight through now. Is everyone involved should be punished, and indeed that is a great notion to have, because, of course, democracy isn't perfect, life in freedom isn't easy, and so said John F. Kennedy all those years ago, but true today, and especially so in our country, as we appear to be at a political crossroads. We are also at an economic crossroads. Several thousands of people, up to 1 million people, are suffering in the drought because the rains have not arrived, the reservoirs are at an all-time low, and the infrastructure simply isn't in place to help all those people out there. This group, through its Shakti TV, Sirasa, TV1, NBC, News First, all banded together and created, we've become almost specialists in instant disaster relief management. We actually were recognized by the United Nations, but nevertheless, we've arrived at a point where this country is at a crossroads, certainly at an economic crossroads. People are intensely concerned as to their lot in life, actually, and our government, the movement, has discovered scores of forgotten people right around the country whose suffering is absolutely unimaginable but real. There are children who walk bare feet over 3 kilometers just to get to school, but they wear their tie. And in the meantime, we'll come back to you after this short break. Stay tuned. After all, this is Newsline.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
And welcome back to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And joining us by telephone live is the news editor of the Island newspaper, Mr. Shamindra Ferdinando. Very good morning to you, Mr. Shamindra Ferdinando.
Good morning, Faraz.
And this morning, Sri Lanka awakes to some interesting and invigorating news that has already started the SMSs coming rolling in. And that, of course, Mr. Ferdinando, is the announcement from His Excellency the President's tweet account that he will be appointing a special presidential commission into the bond scandal. And how do you react to that, Mr. Ferdinando?
Faraz, I think the President, the Yahapalana government should have appointed this presidential commission way back in 2015, because the scandal took place in February 2015. Immediately after the President came into power, Sirisena came into power in January 2015. So I simply cannot understand why the President waited so long to appoint this special presidential commission, and especially after the fourth committee headed by MP Sunil Handuneti handed over its report to the Parliament, and now it's up to the Parliament, the Speaker of the Parliament, Mr. Karun Jayasuriya, to send it to the Attorney General. So I cannot understand what the President expected to achieve by appointing a special presidential commission at this moment.
Well,
but, I believe, although he can appoint it, the process initiated by the COPE committee should continue. So it's up to Mr. Jayasuriya to forward that report to the Attorney General immediately after the conclusion of the debate on scam in Parliament this week, to allow the judicial process to take place.
To be fair, of course, Mr. Ferdinando, the President has watched and given every single opportunity and a bit of leeway on top. And clearly the President is reacting to public frustration that nothing of any significance has been done to ensure nearly 2 years later that this matter is being suitably addressed. All we've had is our delays, and of course our President too has felt the frustration of that, has he not, Mr. Ferdinando?
Yeah. So the issue is for us the delay on the part of the Yahapal government, because they came into power promising to take action against the previous government accused of various acts of corruption. Now you wait for over 2 years to take action. So a lot of people believe that this would sort of give the government an opportunity to further delay the process initiated by the court committee. So I think that process should take place, and those who are responsible for this scam should be brought before the court of justice and punished. Now, if you are going to delay that process initiated by the Parliament of Sri Lanka, the Presidential Commission can go for another 6 months, maybe a year and a half. So what will happen? Because this government, the President has already spent 2 years in office.
Indeed, but
so when are they going to take action against these people?
Of course,
I believe there's no point in further taking action to delay the process. An action must be taken.
Absolutely, and it's a step obviously in the right direction. That it appears well, and the future is bright. And it's after a long time that the people of Sri Lanka in the last 2 years can react to some really positive, news, and that is at least there is some positive information coming out. And I think all of Sri Lanka, all of us whose conscience has been aroused by this absolutely mega-sized fraud, can now rest somewhat and sleep easier in the knowledge that a presidential commission will be taken for this. Now then, Mr. Ferdinando, today also marks the well, not today, but on the 3rd of February, we are told that the Right to Information Act kicks in and comes into play. And that is another step in the right direction, don't you think?
Yes, but I believe for us that whether the media, whether we have that piece of legislation or not, we have always tried to reveal things. So the media, I mean, Sirasa, NTV and other media all got together and revealed this scam. So we revealed it. So all the media did it. So we did that without the help of this Right to Information Act. So I think we should ignore it. We should continue our struggle, and we should reveal corruption taking place. And I personally, I don't believe we need any assistance from this Right to Information Act to reveal things happening in this country. I don't need it.
Indeed, the network, our network, certainly has not needed any Right to Information Act to be in play.
Can I just add something for us?
Yes, certainly. Please do.
Now, if you see the Island page 1 today, the Working Journalists Association is also requesting the President to appoint a Presidential Commission to inquire into the attacks on the media and the killing of journalists. So maybe the President should accept that proposal also and appoint a commission to investigate the attacks on the media, the journalists and media organizations, including Sirasa. So I think he should do that.
Indeed.
I mean, if he is prepared to appoint a commission to inquire into the central bank issue, I think he should do this also.
Indeed. However, one step at a time, and the information that is coming out, and what has become apparent is that the president is obviously taking an action stand. He's certainly not on the do-nothing seat. He is obviously doing something, and for Sri Lanka, this augurs well.
Yes, yes. So let us hope President Sirisena takes action and ensure that all those people who are responsible, who have been responsible for these crimes, are punished.
Indeed, indeed. But whilst all this is happening, Mr. Ferdinando, there is a matter of some gigantic proportions going on, and that is the drought. The drought is affecting, we're told, around 1 million people, our fellow citizens. Isn't that absolutely amazing and worrying?
Yes, certainly. I think people living in 14 districts are affected by the continuing drought conditions. And I think the government is slow in action. I mean, is very slow in taking action to help. So we are seeing the private sector, the media organizations getting together to support them. So I hope the government also take immediate action to help these people. I mean, people living in 13 districts, 13 districts. So it's a huge issue.
Indeed, indeed. The people of this country, you know, it's obvious that we can we can expect the private sector and so on, but you know, it is imperative that all of us, the public, everybody, corporates, private individuals, and so on, all come, join hands instead of simply waiting for the government to act. And that is what this network certainly has done.
Yes.
Shamindra Ferdinando, thank you very much for having joined Newsline. We appreciate your time. We're going in for a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. This is Newsline.
Thank you.
News First, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat.
Welcome back to Newsline, and we're joined by our guest, Mr. Lakshan Das, the chairman of Transparency International Sri Lanka. Good morning to you, Mr. Das. Welcome to Newsline. The Right to Information Act will be operative from the 3rd of February.
Yes.
Great news?
Yes, for me, yes. It's a very good
wonderful. Quite how does Joe Public, the members of the public, how do they get information?
Yes. Now, first thing, now everybody's talking about school admission these days, right? And generally principals, they won't give the information about how they select, who are the people who select, what are the details of them,
right.
And even the education department.
Right.
But
so
they can submit an application and ask them to give whatever the information, the details of the students they have selected. Even they can ask for even the copies of their substantial documents, what they substantiate on their selection. Everything they can ask.
Right.
If they refuse, if the principal refuses, they can
within
2 weeks, then they can go to a designated person.
Right. Who designates?
The principal designates within the department another higher officer designated, and then that designated officer is the appealing body. If that designated officer is not giving you the information or refuse to give the information, and then you can go to commission. If the commission refuses to give the information, then you can go to court of appeal. Mm-hmm. So the process is very clear. Now the thing is, these officials, they have to gear their minds towards offering information. Mm-hmm. There can be blocks initially, so we have to fight for it. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes the principals or the education officers.
Can you translate this to me from a school to the central bank?
Yes.
Of course, we have the news this morning that President Sirisena has announced the formation of a special presidential commission, which we all welcome. because it's absolutely big fraud. We're going in for a breaking news right now.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
And after that bit of unfortunate news, unfortunately, this is also the end of this morning's production from Newsline. On the day that we hear that President Maithripala Sirisena is announced the formation of a special presidential commission to look into the bond saga. And on that note, a very bit of invigorating news for all those people who were concerned about that. Excellent news. In the meantime, we'll see you here, same time, same place, tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Take care and have a great day. God bless.